back, everybody, to another segment of 120 Seconds. As always, I am Stockwell. Shout out to my guy Sherm for creating something called Unity Fest, which is ultimately a representative of Juggalo unity. Hence, we are a union. And given where we are currently, I'm going to issue my 122nd State of the Union. First and foremost, union, meaning stronger together. That goes out to all juggalos. We are stronger together. Just leave that there. Number 2, submissions for 120 seconds have drastically slowed. I am almost caught up on almost everything, like maybe 8 to 10 more, give or take. And I'm not getting the barrage of emails and stuff that I was getting. And, probably for 2 reasons. Number one, some of these do get maybe 500 to 1,000 plays, but most are less than 100 or right at 100, maybe 200 at the most on a more consistent basis. So maybe it's not getting the reach you were hoping for, certainly not what I was hoping for. All right, but I think more importantly is because I'm not just here to tell everybody how awesome they are. All right, so if you are an artist and you want an actual review of your project that may or may not get you a little bit of Faygoluvers exposure, feel free to submit. I'm beginning to understand that that's not really what people want. So, hey, do you juggalos? If I run out of submissions, maybe we got to switch gears on what we're doing here. But it's not a plea, just keeping you updated. 120 seconds. I don't want to say more than anything else, but a lot of times I get you went over 120 seconds. And I know I've touched on this several times. First of all, I'm a really sarcastic dude. Okay, and I've also touched on this before, that I am short, fat, and bald like Matt Pinfield. And Matt Pinfield is the most musical knowledge dude that I know. He used to have a show on MTV back in the day called 120 Minutes. It was for real 2 hours and talking about music. All right, so that's the 120 seconds idea. Plus, I didn't want these to be super long because, look, nobody wants to hear me drone on for an album longer than what the actual album is. Okay, I'll never understand that, but do what you do. Complain all you want. I'm comparing what I do to something that somebody else does, and it's Dave Portnoy's One Bite Pizza Reviews. I think Dave Portnoy is a dick, kind of like everybody thinks I'm a dick. He's brutally harsh, often to a fault, kind of like I'm brutally harsh, maybe to a fault. Every time he takes a bite of pizza, he literally says 1 bite, everybody knows the rules, and then he might take 8 bites, even though he continues to say 1 bite, everybody knows the rules. Okay? And everybody on his platform just thinks it's funny that he doesn't actually ever take just 1 bite. But for you guys, if I'm over 120 seconds, it's the end of the fucking world. Lastly, I'm just a critic. And if you listen to Monoxide's new album, quote, I'm just like herpes, a bunch of sores on his dick, and even more, I barely exist. So if, again, back to the submissions, if you're an artist who submitted and you didn't like my review, you can take that quote to heart and, pretend I don't exist. That's fine too. All right, topic number 4. I was wrong about the following. Number 1, Stray of Sky Swamp Orange. If you watched the last review I just did, I was not expecting much out of that album. And it's great. Number 2, this story's a little bit long, but I'll try and keep it short. AXC, Ala Zulilu. Okay, when I first heard of them, I didn't know, first of all, that they were the same guys as the Maniacs. I didn't know that. And I heard AXC through, I think, either Bad Luck or Loki, okay, a long time ago. And I heard one song, the one song I found was Bad Guy. I still don't love that song, but that was the first song that I ever heard from them. And I thought, it's just some okay horrorcore. Okay, I remember thinking it. And then a little while later, I heard Paper Mache. And that track is probably still my favorite AXC track. They're both on the same album. And then I went back and for real listened to that Head of Horns album, and right around that time was when Psycho Part 1 came out. Like all within it's I'm getting older and my timeline's a little bit meshed, but all in that similar time frame, the Trunk song came out. And again, while I thought it was funny, it's just an okay track to me. The rest or the majority of Psycho Part 1 is fucking bonkers good. So the point of that and the point of this whole thing is that listening to one track and not digging it, it's fair to say like, oh man, I don't like that group. It happens. But what you'll find occasionally is that you listen to more and you realize you just didn't like that one song. And it is okay to not like one song and still like an album, or maybe even 2 or 3 songs. All right. So I'm making a point there. If you catch it, you catch it. Number 3, I was wrong on Kung Fu Vampire. I've touched on that before. If you want to check my year-end review, I wasn't feeling Kung Fu Vampire early in his career, and I feel like his new stuff is really good. The Fun Time Guys. Again, a couple reviews ago, you can hear my, my explanation on those guys. My whole point here is that I will likely be wrong again. All right? So sometimes I'm just wrong, and I'm okay with admitting it. Here we are. All right, some controversial takes so that maybe this video will get some hits. I don't know. I am good with Magic Ninja and Psychopathic. I root for both sides. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not telling you what to do. But I also have not been super impressed with the music that either ICP or Twisted, and I'm not saying Psychopathic or M&E, saying ICP or Twisted have done recently to semi-recently. Okay? It is my opinion that collectively they make better music together. So that's controversial take number 1. So being that I'm touching a little bit on political spectrums here with State of the Union, Juggalo politics, not MAGA, MAGA, not Biden either. What I'm talking about, and I brought this up at the gathering, I'm MLGA, which is Make Lotus Great Again. Controversial take number 1. Can we please fucking fix this thing? Please? Please? Can we fix this thing and get everybody back together and make it work? And put out amazing music again? Okay. Controversial take number 2. The Amazing Jekyll Brothers is the weakest album from the first deck. I'm not going to get into it unless you really want me to, but this is just giving you an idea that I can have my opinions and you can have yours, and we can still be cool. We can still be cool. That's a controversial take. I know it. Even my friends think it is. Controversial take number 3. The Race Shangri-La is the absolute perfect album with the exception of one song, Cotton Candy and Popsicles. That song is fucking terrible. Doesn't ruin the album, but it makes the album not perfect. All right. Number 4. This one is more not that big of a deal, but just recent. Punk rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s was great. Pop punk, such as anything Blink-182 that's not Dude Rancher before, Fall Out Boy, Good Charlotte, whatever, is terrible. And Fury. I was at Warped Tour, but I was at Warped Tour in 99 and 2000 when the earlier groups like NoFX and Bad Religion and Bad Brains and those guys were playing, not Good Charlotte, Fall Out Boy. 2 different genres in my opinion. I think in most people's opinions. You can love pop punk all you want, Juggalos. I fucking hate it. So that is why I don't like that track. All right, that's a Fun Time Guys rip. Specifically for Legs and Whip. Specifically Whip. And going back to the I was wrong thing, I told Whip, now that I said that song sucks, you guys will probably win awards. And I said, and when you do, make sure that you give me the proper credit.
I just want to say big shout out to Stockwell. Without him not believing in us, we wouldn't be where we are today.
All right. So that will be the acceptance speech. from the Fun Time Guys when they win a Grammy for pop punk existential dread song. All right, last. I'm always game for a good conversation, especially in person. Let's link up. I will be at Astronomicon. I will probably be at a Green Book show. Actually, they played Milwaukee last night. I was looking at Milwaukee, and then I can't look, man. I got kids, right? And everybody's involved in something. Okay, so I probably Chicago or Joliet, whatever, West Chicago, wherever they're at. I'll probably be at the Des Moines Shaggy show more than likely. You know, as it turns out, I live in the Midwest, so Iowa, Chicago, Wisconsin, those will be the dates I generally hit. So catch me at a Shaggy show, catch me at a Green Book show, catch me at Astronomicon, and of course, you can catch me at the Gathering. So if you see me in person, come say what's up. Let's chop it up. Shout out to the Success of those. I literally have 3 of these shirts left, maybe 2 of these shirts left. Thanks for everybody who's picked one up, who's grabbed one. If you're interested in one, shoot me an email. I'll get it out to you. Until next time, thanks everybody for checking these out. It's always appreciated. Keep getting me those submissions.
Faygoluvers.net. They've covered some of my interviews. Is it Faygoluvers at the website?
Faygoluvers, yeah. I think so, yeah. I don't know if that's a website, right?